Woohoo! Good morning, everybody. No podcast yesterday. Hey, welcome to the Off Base Podcast. The podcast is I'm fucking stalling here. The podcast is carefully crafted. Yeah. To remind you to suck on a fat one. If for some reason you think you are the only one out of the 7 billion of us on the planet. I'm your host. I'm the Rocky Mountain no-name Jackass. And it's 64 degrees. But it feels colder than that. In the city of Aurora at 8:04 in the a.m. on Wednesday, May 18th, 2022. What's going on? Everybody? Yeah. Jaw time. I'll be right with you. Let's make sure this jaw's good to go. All right. I think we can roll. Rolling out of the 7-Eleven this morning, everybody. Heading back home. Back to base. Right? Yeah, so no podcast yesterday. Yesterday was a fucking shitball way to start the day for me yesterday. I got shitty sleep. Shitty sleep. Last night was all right. Got about 6.5. I can't seem to, I can't remember the last time my alarm, well, it did last week. I had one day where my alarm woke me up, but before that, I cannot remember the last time my alarm woke me up. I'm always waking up early. Waking up before time. And I'm going to keep working at it, trying to make sure my sleep stays regulated. One thing I did last night, which was extremely helpful, I thought, in getting to sleep. Getting to sleep had been tough for me. But right now, it's staying asleep. It's like Ric Flair, you know? To be the man, you got to beat the man. But it's not just being the man. It's staying the man. Yeah! Woo! So, my wife, she had, got a little traffic going on here. She had a little work dinner to go to last night. But she didn't get home till like 9:30, and I started getting the kids. A big yawn. I started getting the kids ready for bed at like 8:30. So I went to bed right around 9 o'clock. But because she wasn't home, my thought was, all right, I don't want her to wake me up. I'm going to use earplugs. And they worked really well. Now, my wife has been using earplugs ever since we moved here to Colorado. Because, the house that we live in is much, much smaller than prior houses we've lived in. And if I get up before her, and we found this out in the first month of being here, if I get up before her, what happens is she hears me in the kitchen. And I try my damnedest not to make any noise. But because the house is so much smaller, you can hear everything I'm doing. Because our room is adjacent to the kitchen. So she started wearing earplugs and has had no problem since that day. Well, last night I gave it a shot. I gave the earplugs a shot. And they worked great as far as getting me to sleep, but then for some reason I woke up at 12:30. I had no idea why. I took the earplugs out. I don't know if I should or should not have done that. But I took the earplugs out, went back to sleep, got up again at 3:30. It's like, what the fuck, dude? I don't know, bro. I don't know what is preventing me from staying asleep. Because it's not just being asleep, it's staying asleep. I want that recovery. The body is meant to do so. It's just one of the strangest features that we have as humans is needing 8 hours every night to sleep, allowing the body to recover. I mean, when you think about it, and this is Matthew Walker speaking, really, not me. Nature should have pre-selected against sleep throughout our evolution, because when we're sleeping, we're not foraging for food. We are horribly susceptible to predation. And there's a couple other things that Matthew Walker cited about why on the evolutionary pathway Mother Nature should have selected against sleep, but she continues to argue for it, which means there's probably some shit going on while we're sleeping that is important to our survival, right? Survival of the fittest. So I'm going to continue to work at it. It's huge. Sorry, I covered myself up there. Ah, god damn it. Fucking shoulder. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this fucking thing. And it's starting to piss me off because I'm afraid that it's going to hamper my my workout routines, especially since we're 12 days away from doing the Murph, which is on Memorial Day, and that's what I've been gearing towards. And the funniest part is that as far as the 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, I actually have had no problem getting through those since I started doing Murphs in the month of May. It's challenging, but it's certainly been less challenging than it has in the past. And I do not want to fuck up that progress. And I feel like at some point my shoulder is going to. It's a shoulder pain that it's like in the back of the shoulder and kind of comes down the tricep down here. Trying to look online for shit about it yesterday. Couldn't find anything specific, so probably go to a physical therapist, and I'm going to do my best to do all kinds of different shoulder stretching exercises. But I've come so far, everybody, since last August. I do not want to fuck this up. Well, there's a nice mountain down there. I think that's down near Castle Pines. You can see it from a distance. Oh, finally got the arrow. Stay green, stay green. Oh, it went yellow. I'm going. Fuck this. Oh, it went red. I'm going. We had a hysterical old lady. I don't want to say old. She was probably like 60, 65. Behind us this morning, we were coming to school, coming to drop the kiddies off. I was in the left-hand lane of a 2-lane road, completely obeying the speed limit. Actually, I was breaking the speed limit. I was going 38 miles an hour, and she zoomed right up behind me, was tailgating me, and was screaming at me to go, 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 and her arms were flailing and all this shit. I couldn't help but to laugh, and I was like, guys, look back. Look back at this lady. She's freaking out. For about a mile and a half, she's screaming at me. Meanwhile, there is nobody in the right-hand lane. Now, I understand the left-hand lane is the passing lane, but on that particular stretch of road, sometimes it's difficult for me to get in that lane because we actually have to end up turning left. So what I've been doing is I just, go in the left-hand lane. But she was fucking. So I understand that lane is for passing. But I was only going 38 miles an hour, and the speed limit was 35. And she's tailgating me the whole time. I'm like, what the fuck? Then we get to the light, and she's screaming at me some more through her windshield. Oh my God, it's so funny. So funny. And then very soon after that, we made the left, and there were 3 lanes next to us. I'm sorry, there were 3 lanes. And she very quickly passed me, which was hysterical because 5 miles later, we were right next to her. Obviously, she was in a hurry. But it's funny, man. Road rage. And Colorado drivers scare me to begin with because they suck. I mean, I've never seen so many dented cars. And then, all the last school year, I mean, the number of accidents that we would see on the way to school is ridiculous. Never seen that many. Never. These people don't know how to drive. Bunch of fucking fuck faces, man. So anyway, stepson and I did a full Murph. Yes, actually, I did the full Murph. He did a half. And instead of doing the runs, so I actually shortened up. Excuse me, another big yawn. I shortened up the duration. I should say tightened up the duration between when I am doing incline walking up a hill, and then doing the pull-ups, push-ups, squats. And I also increased my rep count as well. So before I was doing 4, 8, 12, 25 times. That'll give me 100, 200, 300. Now, yesterday I did 5, 10, 15, 20 times. But I split it up this time into 2 groups. Last time I was doing 3 groups. This time I'm only doing 2 groups. So I walked for 2/3 of a mile, then got off and did 5, 10, 15, 10 times. So I had 50, 100, 150. Got on the treadmill again, walked uphill for another 2/3 of a mile, got off, did 50, 100, 150 again, and then walked. Actually, I tried to run the last 2/3 of the mile. But at that point, my body was gassed. So I alternated between running for approximately 0.15 of a mile and walking 0.05. But it's a great workout. I just fucking worried about my shoulder. Got to do something to make sure that it is G to G. And I thought I actually rehabbed it in Florida, but I'm still experiencing issues. And I'm not the biggest fan of those issues. I understand I'm 47 years old. I'm getting up there. But I've made so much progress, and I don't want to fuck it up now. But if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I'm starting to think, well, maybe I can still stay on the path of cutting out the fat by, continuing those uphill walks. Maybe increasing the time that I do it. Maybe also buying a rucksack. Either a 10-pounder or a 20-pounder. Give me some additional weight to go through. Stepson and I are scheduled to hit the gym today for that nice little cardio burn that we do. We lift for about 40 minutes, and then I walk for 20. Uphill, by the way. Mind you. So, yeah. And also, my diet actually was really good yesterday. I was very happy with it. I did my normal keto coffee, 4 eggs, half of an avocado for breakfast. I did my chicken cabbage soup, 8-ounce chicken breast, and 2 eggs. So it's like a ramen. And instead of, using noodles, I'm using cabbage. So maybe I'll call it my chicken cabbage ramen. And then for dinner, I just had a can of tuna and oil. That's 350 calories, man. Which put me at about 1,500 for the day. I was really happy with that, everybody. I was smiling on the inside. Not bad. That should have definitely put me in a calorie deficit for yesterday, especially after doing a Murph. And because I'm doing the uphill walking, I actually feel really good today. I don't feel like super sore anywhere. It's nice. It's nice. I dig it. See what I'm saying? Know what I mean? Good. So, stepson and I will hit the gym tonight. And we'll do our best and forget the rest. This is the one night of the week where nobody in our household has anything after school/work. But tomorrow, stepson has a ceremony. He is receiving an award think it's some type of academic award, which is good. It's nice. Step Joada has a dance on Friday. My wife and I are going to Carmen, the opera, on Saturday. And then we got... I don't think we have anything on Sunday. Oh! Yeah, so I think we're going to be good to go on Sunday. And then the kids will have their final week of school next week. Hey, there's the cows. Brown cows, black cows with white markings. I always love watching wild animals. Especially non-threatening ones like cows. So anyway, here we are at the halfway point, everybody. We can turn our attention back to economics now. And what the fuck is going on with the financial markets? You know, I've been watching some pretty good YouTube videos. There's a guy that I really like to watch. I just wish that he would lose his arrogance so that he could potentially get more people to listen to him. Because he's really hard to listen to. I'm used to him now. I actually remember when he was much more diplomatic. But now that he's running his own firm, he's a bit arrogant when it comes to transmitting the knowledge that he has. And he's smart as a whip. And his methodology for attacking the markets is phenomenal. He's much, much more active, mind you, in the markets. Because that's what he does on a day-to-day basis. His name, by the way, is Keith McCullough. And he runs a firm called Hedge Eye. And like I said, I've been a fan of his since 2007, 2008 financial crisis. CNBC had him on a lot. I forgot who he was working for at the time. But he anytime he would come on, he presented himself really well. And then he started his own firm, and I found him on YouTube a couple of years back and was listening to his shit. And I'm like, holy hell, did this guy get arrogant? Now, he's, like I said, he's really, really good at his job. So he has, I guess, he has license to brag. Because if it's the truth, it's not bragging. But he does a lot of ripping on other people. How do I want to say this? He certainly has found a methodology that works for him and works extremely well. But you know, that can't be everybody's methodology. So it's like, come on, dude. Well, you know, do you make yourself look better by, you know, punching down? And plus, like, what the fuck difference does it make? What does he care about how other money managers are performing, or how they select their securities, how they select their instruments in which to invest? What do you care? Just keep doing your job. You're doing great. So that's the only thing I don't like about him, is when he cuts other money managers down. And these are other money managers, like really, really famous ones that end up going on CNBC, because he doesn't go on CNBC anymore because he thinks it's a bunch of crap. And I appreciate him sticking to his principles for that. I think they're a bunch of crap as well. They are simply a mechanism for advertising, investing in stocks. That's it. That's all they are. Especially when the markets are going down. They always bring everybody on, oh yeah, now's the time to buy, it's a correction. This ain't a correction right now that we're in, people. This is a bear market. And it's been a long time coming. We're 5 months into it. The markets look like shit right now. And it's been interesting to listen to the different points of view. God damn, shoulder. By the way, I'm back on the road where the lady was yelling at me. It's been interesting to listen to the different points of view on how they're viewing what the hell is going on. There's one guy that Keith McCullough had on yesterday, by the way. His name's Mike Taylor. Also very, very engaging, extremely smart. I think his background is in the sciences, particularly chemistry, which I find, you know, pretty fascinating when somebody comes on and is knowledgeable in chemistry and also is a good investor / trader. But Mike Taylor started to talk about the Federal Reserve. And, the Federal Reserve has a dual mandate that it is given by Congress, which is maximum employment and price stability. And I was listening to Peter Schiff the other day, and Peter Schiff was like, and Jerome Powell, who is our Fed chairman, was just confirmed for a second term. And Peter Schiff was like, why is this guy confirmed? He said, if their dual mandate is maximum employment and price stability, he's like, all right, well, according to their metrics, the way the government reports them, he's doing well on employment because unemployment is low. He said, but on price stability, we're at 8% inflation, 9% inflation. That's an F right there. And he had some great analogies. It's like when you finish your junior year of high school, and you got 3 A's and 3 F's, and somebody asks you, well, how you doing on your report card? And you'd be like, well, except for those 3 F's, I got straight A's. And I completely agree with him. How the fuck can you reconfirm this guy for a second term if out of his 2 mandates, he's got an F in one of them? Boggles my mind. Full employment and price stability. Maximum employment and price stability. So going back to Mike Taylor was like, look, those dual mandates, they ain't worth the shit. And I've heard a lot of other people talk about this too. He said, that's not worth the shit. He said the Federal Reserve, their main job is to make sure that the dollar stays strong. And the reason why is because it's not a currency that's used just here in the United States. We make dollar loans to other countries all over the world. And we want to make sure that people keep using the dollar. So Mike Taylor said, and I'm gonna fuck up the paraphrasing on this, but he said that the job of the Federal Reserve isn't maximum employment and price stability. It's just to make sure that the dollar survives, which is a very interesting take on the Fed's job. And he's not the only one who talks about it either, by the way. I'm about to get scanned, by the way. That's why I'm also jumbling my thoughts. Morning, boys.
How you doing?
Not bad.
All right, you guys. Yeah, I'm going.
Thanks. Now, the way in which the Federal Reserve is doing that this time around is not good for financial markets because they are tightening. And by tightening, I mean raising interest rates into a slowing economy, which is what they used to do back in the 80s. You make credit less available so as to wring out the excesses in the system. But they have to walk a thin ass fucking line because of the amount of money that they have pumped, currency I should say, that they pumped into the system. If they continue to withdraw that accommodation, the markets are going to continue to crash. And that might mean a whole hell of a lot of layoffs for a whole hell of a lot of people. So they have to be very, very careful. They created this monster, and now they have to somehow make sure that they tame it while at the same time still feeding it. So, I don't envy the position of anybody who's on the Federal Reserve Board. If you guys get a chance, by the way, I'm getting close to finishing this thing up. So I got Denver in the foreground with the mountains in the background. But another guy that I ended up watching, he's a little out there, but his principles are sound. A guy by the name of E.B. Tucker. I saw an interview with him on Daniela Cabone's channel. What the hell is it called again? I forgot what the hell it's called. But if you YouTube E.B. Tucker, he's got some really good thoughts on what the hell is going on and where people should put their money. And I agree with him. So anyway, all that being said, the guys to look up: Keith McCullough, E.B. Tucker, Peter Schiff. And don't forget Raoul Powell over at Real Vision. That guy's as smart as they come. And with that, everybody, my stomach is a rumbling because I only had 1,500 calories yesterday. So I'm getting ready to go in my house and make a nice breakfast. So I'm going to wish everybody a fantastic hump day. You got the weekend coming after this day's over. And I'll smell you tomorrow.